Hello, everybody. It is time again for Mark's Monday Minutes. It is the week of June 13th, and I'm wearing blue because it's cold outside. We are 1 week away from the longest day of the year, and I think we are still in January. It is cold. There was even snow up in Mount Hood today. Did you see that? Yes, there was. All right, the week of June 13th. Let's get through this, and we'll get to our big topic of price reductions. Yay! I'm happy about this. Let me explain why when we get there. All right, for the numbers, the number of active listings this week, we finally, for the first time, crested over 3,000 listings in the Portland metro area that are active on the market as of now, 3,068. The new number of new listings in the last week, 759, slightly down from the 805 the week before. The number of pending homes, 705. So we are seeing the surplus a little bit, a few more homes coming on the market than are going pending. Now, sold in the last week, only 496 homes sold in the last week. Part of that was the artifact 2 weeks ago of Memorial Day weekend. I think that slowed things down a little bit, so the number of closed homes will catch back up. Now, the number of price adjustments, 328 of those 3,068. So that is just over 10%. In fact, 10.7%. We'll talk about that shortly. The number of coming soon no showings is at 67. Once again, dropped down a little bit. We had about 98. We had 98 2 weeks ago, down to 70 and 67. So we've come back down, but that's typical about 20% of the new homes. That's wonderful. That's good. 10% of the new homes coming on. That's good. That's a good number for us to work at. And the number of sold homes in the last 30 days, 2,487, just shy of 2,500. So having sold just shy of 2,500 homes in the last 30 days and having just over 3,000 homes in the market gives us a supply and inventory right now that would last about 1.23 weeks. So we're looking at 1.23 months, pardon me. So that's about 5 weeks supply. This is good. We're finally back up to more inventory for buyers. We'll talk about that again shortly. Okay, let's move to the 4-car garages. The active number of homes with a 4-car garage or larger is 82. The number of new homes with a 4-car garage or larger in the last week, 12 new. 10 more homes went pending with a 4-car garage, and 5 sold in the last week, with a total of 27 selling in the last 30 days. Now, normally we would think that this is a supply of about 3 months, 27 homes sold in the last 30 days, and 82 homes on the market would give us right around 3 months worth of inventory. However, of those 82 homes with the 4-car garage, only 19 of them are below $1 million. So as a result, we have an abundance of homes priced higher than $1 million or higher that have those 4-car garages, which is reasonable and to be expected. So really only 19 homes with a 4-car garage that are affordable under $1 million. So the garage segment, even smaller. All right, now we're going to get on to the topic. What is it this week? I promised price reductions. Let me just get the record straight. Let me get it clear right out here. Price reductions are normal, and they always happen in the second quarter. Guess what? We're at the end of the second quarter, right when price reductions historically happen. This is not homeowners losing money. That's not the case. Rather, these are sellers who are trying to maximize their profits, and they may have overshot their price a little bit. So they're having to bring it back down, temper it down, if you will. This is a result of sellers who want to move their house to get their home sold and move before the end of summer. It's also when buyer activity is at its highest here during June and July, because you want to then close on your home in August and be able to move to start the school year in general by the beginning of September after Labor Day here in Oregon. Now, why price reductions? Where are the metrics? Why do I watch this so closely? Well, first of all, the number of price reductions in a normal market, historic normal, is just at 30%, 30.1%. Now, if we think that 30% of the listings have had a price adjustment or a price reduction, right now the national average this last week tipped up to 24.1% of listings on the market have had a price adjustment. So on a nationwide basis, we're coming back to normal, which is good. I've always said I like normal. How about here in Portland? Well, 328 out of 3,068 gives us that 10.7%. So we are barely 1/3 of the way to normal. compared to the national basis, and we are well under, we're at 40% of the current normal rate. So Portland as a market is still very strong, still desirable. I think more so the suburbs than the actual city limits of Portland itself, which is fine. Many reasons for that. We can talk about that if you're curious. Now, on a nationwide basis, the way we're going, maybe we're up to July by the time we hit 30% on a nationwide basis. But Portland, I don't know. It's taken us 6 weeks to get from 8.5 to 10.7. I don't know if we're going to see 15% this summer in Portland, which would, not even be half the historic average nationwide. But don't worry. Don't worry. Just like in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, do not worry. Don't worry. Now, why do I look at price reductions? They're an indicator of current demand, which right now is affected by it's a function of the inventory and the current mortgage rates, which, by the way, today tipped up to about 5.8%. So you should have locked your mortgage on Friday compared to today, but that's okay. Money is still cheap. The average over the last 30 years for a 30-year mortgage is 7.81%. So even at 5.8, you're still well ahead of the curve, well ahead of the historic average. Now, again, I look at price reductions because they talk about the current demand. They're also a leading indicator of future transactions. What are we going to see in September and October? We're going to see more transactions that have had a price adjustment. We're going to see a little softening of the market. Instead of doing 20% appreciation, maybe we come down to 10% or 5%. Remember, our historical average is 4.5% appreciation in real estate. That's a good holding. That's pretty good. We are so far underneath current historic levels of inventory, it's hard to really say that this is any indicator other than good. Buyers have inventory to choose from. That's great. They're finally a little more latitude, a little more flexibility for buyers, giving them a little bit of hope. Sellers, stability in pricing and value appreciation is good. As volatile as it has been since 2015, this is good. This is good. Normal is good. So if you take anything away from today, price reductions are normal. We're still well ahead of the curve in Portland, which is good. Buckle up. Don't worry. And take a jacket today because it's a little chilly out there. All right. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you next week.